If you're an entrepreneur on the hunt for the next big thing, you really need to put Qatar on your radar. Why? Because the window of opportunity there isn't just opening, it's wide open right now. In this explainer, we're not just going to tell you why, we're going to show you the most profitable business ideas for 2026. Let's dive right in.
For decades, the question, what drives Qatar's economy, had a really simple answer: oil and gas. But that is changing, and it's changing fast. And that brings us to the big question we're tackling today. Beyond all that oil, what's actually next for Qatar?
Well, the answer is that Qatar is in the middle of a massive pivot away from fossil fuels. A brand new, diversified economy is absolutely booming, built on things like technology, tourism, and services. And for an entrepreneur, that isn't just a trend. It's a genuine ground floor opportunity to get in and build something that lasts.
Okay, so let's start by digging into this new economic landscape. What does this whole post-oil pivot actually mean for someone like you who might be wanting to start a business there?
It means a complete, fundamental shift in focus. The old model, the one totally dominated by oil and gas, is being intentionally replaced. We're talking about a new mix of knowledge-based industries. And the government isn't just sitting back and hoping this happens. They are pouring billions into it, funding small businesses and creating these amazing tax-friendly free zones.
And this shift creates some incredible tangible benefits for entrepreneurs. First off, you've got zero corporate income tax. Just think about that. You get to keep more of your profits. Then combine that with one of the highest GDPs per person in the entire world, which means, you guessed it, really high consumer spending. You add in that exploding tourism and truly world-class infrastructure, and wow, you have a seriously powerful recipe for success.
So we know the government is the one pushing this change. But what are the actual engines on the ground that are fueling this boom? Let's break down the key drivers.
First, and this one is pretty dramatic, is tourism. Just take a look at this number. 1.5 million international visitors in just the first quarter of 2025. That's not an annual figure, that's just 3 months. This creates an incredible immediate demand for everything from hotels and restaurants to all kinds of services.
And listen, this is not a short-term blip. The government's official target is to attract 6 million visitors a year by 2030. That's a fourfold increase from where they are now. What that tells you is that this is a long-term commitment, meaning the opportunities in the tourism sector are sustainable and they are absolutely set for major growth.
So what you have here are three powerful forces all coming together at once. First, that tourism surge we just talked about. Second, a growing and wealthy population of over 3 million people who have serious spending power. And third, all that heavy government investment pouring into new sectors like healthcare and tech. It really is a perfect storm of demand.
Okay, so that's the big picture. Now let's get specific. We've grouped the most profitable business ideas into 3 distinct zones where the opportunities are really concentrated.
First up is what we're calling the visitor economy, which, as the name suggests, directly serves that tourism boom. Just consider hospitality, a market that's projected to hit $13.6 billion by 2026. Or food and beverage, which caters to both tourists and wealthy locals. Event management is also thriving. With holiday hotel occupancy already hitting 77%, there's a huge clear need for services that can handle that peak demand and create premium experiences.
Next, we've got the knowledge and tech hub. This zone is being fueled by all that government investment and a really tech-savvy population. The healthcare market alone is set to reach nearly $13 billion. The edtech market, it's growing at over 10% annually. That means a consistently expanding customer base year after year. And in fintech, check this out. 1.2 million active mobile payment wallets. That tells you the market has already embraced digital finance and is hungry for more.
The third zone is what we're calling nation-building industries. And really, these are the businesses that are essential to creating Qatar's future infrastructure. Real estate is seeing explosive growth, a 57% year-over-year jump in residential sales in late 2025. Logistics is booming, thanks to those free zones with duty-free imports. And in renewable energy, the government has set a target of 4,000 megawatts of solar capacity. That's basically creating guaranteed demand.
So the opportunities are crystal clear. But as we all know, having a great idea is only half the battle. So let's get into the reality check. How do you turn one of these ideas into a real impactful business?
Success really comes down to one word: execution. It's not just about your idea, but how you bring it to life. This means mastering your market timing,
navigating Qatar's specific compliance rules, managing your capital effectively, making sure your operations are excellent, and, this one's crucial, building strong local partnerships. Getting these things right is what separates a great idea from a successful business.
Now, this might sound a little complex, but don't worry, there is a clear path forward. So for our final section, let's lay out the actionable first 5 steps for anyone who's serious about getting started.
All right, here are your first steps. 1. Validate your ideas specifically for the Qatari market. Don't assume anything. 2. Develop a business plan that actually accounts for local consumer habits. 3. Research Qatar-specific licensing requirements early on. Trust me, they can be complex. 4. Secure your funding, keeping the local investment landscape in mind. And finally, number 5, and I cannot stress this enough, partner with local specialists. Their expertise in navigating the business formation and regulatory maze is invaluable and will save you months of headaches.
I want to leave you with this quote because it just perfectly captures the moment. Qatar stands at an inflection point. The entrepreneurial moment is now. The country is actively building its future, and it is inviting entrepreneurs to come and build it with them.
The shift is happening. The investment is flowing. The demand is real. The doors to this brand new economy are wide open. So the only question left is, which one will you walk through?